so maybe a total of 8 hours.
Oh, he's saying this was on live too, so way back when. I know what RNG feels like, especially with my dice. Although I have to say, Guggulin tends to get higher numbers than my cleric does. Cleric is, you guys
Ugly.
see it on the videos, yeah. It's the worst rules you've ever seen anywhere.
Well, it's because he's ugly.
He's a sexy beast. You guys just don't like pale faces.
Guilty.
The kid's EQ crashed, zoning into Soul B. Really hate when that happens. Oh, okay, so he has to load back in.
All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna drop the call.
All right, night, man.
See you later.
Might
Talk
be
to you
back later, might not, but I'm gonna get some dinner here in a minute.
Let's see.
You guys have a good one.
You too.
Cypher is still not back home. I think he's still downloading some games.
Yeah, he said he's going somewhere. I guess he goes to the library or a coffee shop
to download his game. Yeah, he has a cell phone that he actually plays off of, but I don't know how he does it. Every single time I've ever tried playing off of a cell phone, they heat up like a mini Nova.
So what do? You just put it on like as a Wi-Fi hotspot?
For him, yeah, I think that's what he's doing. But he better be on like an ice cold plate of some sort, replacing that block of ice every few hours.
Druid, okay to come over here, man?
Are you saying
got a spot?
Is it clear? Yeah, we got a spot.
No, I mean, yeah, can Druid?
Yeah.
It's flip flops, Druid.
Bring him out.
Remember him?
If they know the way from Sol A through, that's probably the easiest way. Then you don't have to mess with all the other crap to get through.
It's clear from bats and bugs, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I've run through this place 6 times.
So if they need help with a few of those Kabols, just let us know.
Gillador.
Yeah, but he only has so much bandwidth that he can use in a given month. So if he's going to be downloading a lot of really big games, hundreds of gigs, he'll tend to do that like at the library or coffee shop or whatever.
I wonder if he's uploading. That might be what he's doing.
He could be doing that
too. Or
too.
does that take more or less?
It's like with anything. If he has a lot to do, he'll hold on to some of it, I think. I don't know how he deals with it. Having bad internet, I grew up with that dial-up, and getting a little bit of a taste of that over the last few days was driving me nuts.
What did we do before the internet?
Read books. At least I did. Read books, go outside into the hot, hot weather of Houston. Yeah, you see the kids nowadays, they're glued to their cell phone. I was actually surprised. My niece is really young. I mean, she's barely old enough to walk, and yet she'll sit down on the couch and she'll plug away on the cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's. I didn't have anything like that. I had those stupid little toys that you pull on it and it says the cow goes moo.
We had Atari. That's what I grew up with, is Atari, Frogger, and Pac-Man.
When I got older, yeah, not as that young though.
No, not that.
Did you have a favorite game on Atari?
Pitfall, I think, was what it's called, where you swing on the ropes and climb the ladders and.
Mm-hmm. You know who was in the commercial for Pitfall? Jack Black as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that. He's a funny guy.
This is a good game. At least you didn't say E.T.
No. We had the paddles that you could play. I think it was called like Outbreak or Super Outbreak. Sit there in front of the TV for hours playing that.
I remember Outbreak.
And now kids look at that and think, it's the dumbest game ever.
We were easily entertained. We're gonna get another lava duck crawler.
Oh my god, we're getting all kinds of stuff. Yeah, there's a bat too.
Alright, bring it back. I don't know. Noddle's been going back lately and playing some of the old Nintendo games. Have you gone back to any of the Atari yet?
I don't have an Atari, dude. So I actually had an Atari flashback or whatever, you know, the little thing you buy, the little,
okay.
and it just wasn't. I mean, it's kind of the same, but like I wasn't digging playing the games and stuff, so I actually sold it or traded it or something. I can't remember. So,
like just too dated, or the games you were playing just were kind of broken?
it had the Atari games on it. I just wasn't interested in playing them. I guess it was like a nostalgia thing. Like I was ready to go, and then I was like, you know, I wasn't good digging it. Maybe too far back for my, you know what I mean?
Might
for
be.
me, I don't.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back and play some of the Nintendo ones, like Earthbound. I loved that game as a kid.
I think we're on different mobs.
I think so too, yeah. Illusion of Gaia was a good one. I think that was more for the Super Nintendo. And then, of course, the Final Fantasy games. I don't know. There's something about the Final Fantasy games these days that are just too long for me. Used to love 100+ hour video games. Now they're a bit hard to get through.
I'm not a big completionist, and sometimes I just like to turn it on, play for a few hours, and then not pick it up ever again. You know what I mean? So, and then there's other times I want to beat the games, but very rarely do I do that. Can we go this way and look for that dude real quick? Is that all right?
The Druid?
Is this the right way? Yeah. Is this towards?
This is back towards the entrance.
Is this bats and bugs right here?
Yeah, a little further down this way.
Yeah. I don't want to lose camp or anything, but he said.
Well, if you guys stay over there, I'll pull. Like while Shix is doing his thing, I'll pull the kobolds.
Yeah, if we can find our way back.
I'll get a couple.
Follow the corpses.
I'll bring him back over there, Nonal.
Alright.
I'll get him. Lucian Guy was awesome. Aludra was good. I don't remember that one. More like an adventure RPG than the typical stuff from Square Enix. You talk about Illusion of Guy? Yeah.
I went the wrong way.
Go round it up. I'm going to have to look that up here in a second. As soon as I get done clearing the entrance, I'm going to check that out.
What was it? Which one did he say? Sorry.
Alundra, it's Allundra. But Illusion of Guy, if you haven't played that one, gotta check it out.
All right,
So, are you going to get the bard?
Is he in the zone yet?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yes, he is in the zone.
Let me check at the entrance then.
Do you have a see invisible item? Because he may be invis.
Well, he knows what I look like, I guess. So if I show up, maybe he'll drop it. All right, I got 3 mobs on me. Apparently, there was a train at the entrance.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Is he?
Fine.
Is he still in the zone or is he out? Because that might have been his train.
Yeah, these mobs see invis.
He's
I
out.
think.
He's out.
Okay, so that was his train. We'll clear it for you, man. Just let us know when you get here if you guys are ever coming to join us, and we'll make sure you get here safe. We're not going to leave you hanging.
I might leave you hanging.
Well, that's only once you get in our group. Then we'll kill you.
We do have an evac now, in case the fire giants pop. See what I'm saying? You gotta try it.
Right.
I don't know if you heard me or not, but Gillador is Flip Flop. If you remember Flip Flop, the monk that hung out with us a few times. Yeah.
He says there was a couple of games on the Genesis to Landstalker and Darkstalker. Weren't you into Darkstalker?
I don't remember those either, man. To be honest with you, I might check them out though. What kind of game is that? Is it RPG or side scroller or what?
Oh, and Wild Arms for the PlayStation. I don't remember Landstalker, but I believe Darkstalker was a pretty good game. I don't remember what kind though. Just vaguely remember some of these. I just have you guys know I am big boned. There we go. There's our bard. It was a adventure RPG. Both of those.
Cool.
Best kind. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Is he here with us? Did I lose him?
Yeah. No, he's here. He's at the group.
Oh, yeah, you got him. Alright, so I want to see what Alundra is. Yellow.
I'm looking up Darkstalker on YouTube.
Alundra is on PlayStation.
Was Darkstalker Sega Genesis or was it on Sega
Genesis?
Ah.
Action, adventure, role-playing game.
Let's go back this way.
This could be loud. YouTube, huh? OST, Requiem, Extended. No, nobody has gameplay of that, huh?
That soundtrack. Yeah, that's what I googled and clicked on. It's the soundtrack. Like, really?
I want to see pictures.
This looks cartoony though. This Darkstalkers looks pretty cartoony.
What poison resist must be crap. Is boiling blood, is that poison or is that like magic or what is that?
That's a, or not a dark elf, it's a Shadow Knight or Necro. Disease over time.
Oh, it's disease.
I believe it's disease, yeah.
Have a resist disease or something, dude, if you want it. Or do you need cured first, probably?
It'll go away. I mean,
I have counteract disease, if you want it. And then I can give you a thing.
Still working on my resist gear. I'm good with fire and cold. Decent with fire and cold, but my disease and poison magic are all lacking.
Resist disease.
Our Drew is saying he doesn't think he bought the circles yet. It's alright, man. I didn't buy Cure Disease until level like 16 or something. Once I got to Unrest and people were asking for it to cure rabies and I didn't have it, I felt really bad. Just didn't have the money at the time. That was my first tune coming back and he was pretty poor. Had to make some hard choices, whether it was a heal or a Cure Disease. Reptox said these were fire dots. Oh, okay. You could try Cure Fire. I just know most Necromancer spells, especially their dots, are disease-based. And it has the exact same name and the exact same symbol.
My fire's at 138, which, I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad.
It ain't horrible.
Fire and Ice is what you want for TOV, man. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's
those are the two that people concentrate on.
My fire is 37. So, you know, I take yours any day.
The Bard can twist a song, too, that gives you a damage shield and fire resist, too. There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Don't kill that. Okay, hold off on tacking.
I think he's going to try Charm
Yeah,
it.
he's going to try to charm it.
Or Charm it. Whatever.
What are we charming? What?
The druid?
Bat.
The druid's
He's
going to
gonna
get
take
it because it's an animal.
Oh, is it considered an animal?
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good one, too, because it stuns like crazy. Yeah, I don't think he's gotten it yet. There we go. Yeah, there were some amazing games from my childhood growing up and going through Zeldas. You know, there's some very popular ones everybody knows about, but then there's some diamonds in the rough that just some people maybe never got to play. And I think that Alundra one might be one of those. Oh, we got one here.
There's something like 700, 800 games on their original Nintendo, dude.
Yeah, but how many of those are good?
I'm just saying, odds are nobody played them all is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Because you had like games like E.T. and Paperboy 2. There was an arcade one that I think they transitioned over onto the Nintendo. Maybe you guys remember this one, where you got in a like a rubber tube on the river, and you just kind of went down the water trying to avoid obstacles like rocks while picking up beer.
I remember that game actually, dude. I think.
Yeah, it's very popular in their arcades. So silly to play on a console, though. Didn't really have a point.
Yeah, dude, it was just because.
Right, because you're at the arcade, you're hanging out with your friends, and
I gotta drop the call for a second. I'll be back.
all right. Lufia 2 and 1. Yeah, those were amazing games. I will agree with you on that. I know those for sure. Secret of the Stars from Temco for the Super NES.
Secret of the Stars? Like,
Dancing with them.
I was gonna say, it sounds like that, but I'm sure not from back in that era.
No. All we had was Star Surge.
See, I had a Sega Genesis, and then I didn't have another console until I got the N64. So, like, everything that I go back and play is just me rediscovering it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Other than what I played at my friend's house and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And I played a lot of sports games, too, when I was a kid. We were big into sports.
See, never got into those. I did get into the fighting ones, like the Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat ones with my brothers, but never really did get into the sports.
Yeah, we did fighters and sports, and then we did Zeldas and Sonics and stuff like that, too. So
I like the first Sonic, back when he was just like all speed, a little bit of skill.
Oh, yeah. But, like, Tecmo Bowl was huge, dude. Like, I played that in my 20s. Like, we would sit and drink beer as, like, you know, 3 or 4 guys would have tournaments and stuff. You know what I mean? To see who could beat who and stuff like that, man. That was awesome.
Big RPG nerd, though. So I'm guessing you have played the Chrono Triggers and... Oh, man, what was the other one? That was right up there with Chrono Trigger. I'm drawing a blank now. I'm going to have to think about that. But there's one that goes like hand in hand with that series. Secret of Mana, yeah. Oh my god, dude. I still have it somewhere in a box, maybe. I lost a lot of stuff with the flood, but I had that for the longest time. I had the guidebook for Secret of Mana, and it had like the forest on the front of it, and you're like, what kind of game is that? You don't know until you get into it, and you're just like, wow, that's pretty cool. Game I like from PlayStation was Legend of Mana. That was fun. I don't think I recognize the Legend one. I know Secret. You definitely played a lot of the same RPGs that I've played. Did you have a favorite genre? Like sports, was that it? Or did you like the first-person shooters as well?
Fighting games and sports, probably. I'm going to kill this guy before he dies.
Because I know...
You guessed something in camp?
It's his bat. His pet.
He's just recharming it.
Not even sure how to pronounce that. Suiken Detsu 3? I missed that one for sure.
There's 3 of them?
If it was Japanese-based, probably. They did come out with a lot of sequels to their games. I'm glad they have made more of those accessible to non-speaking Japanese people.
I mean, like, I played the original Zelda, I played Dragon Warrior, which is kind of like, sort of like Zelda, and Final Fantasy 1, which Final Fantasy 1 and Dragon Warrior are really close to being kind of like identical, you know what I mean? Very similar games. Okay. Yeah. So I played that, but then, like I said, sports, like, we played them a lot. Me and my buddy used to play, like an NBA something. I forget the name of it exactly, but we used to, like, one would play and the other guy would keep stats, like, as kids, you know what I mean? Because the games didn't keep stats back then.
They do now,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, we'd, like, look at our stats at the end of the round. Like, one guy was still having fun while the other one was playing, you know what I mean? Kind of dorky stuff like that.
Did you ever play any, like, Bomberman?
I have Bomberman for the GameCube. And I checked it out, but I didn't play it back in the day.
Some of the sequels that they came out with were not quite the Bomberman-ish they should have. They did one that was an adventure game, which is weird, because for me, Bomberman was always multiplayer. I never went through the story mode. It was just like a flat map with 4 corners, and each person would start on one of the corners, and you'd have to, like, break the blocks and hope that you got, you know, skates that would increase your speed, or you pick up a bomb, it would give you a second bomb. You got fire that would increase the damage, the fire range of your explosives. So at first they would only do 1 block a piece. You get pick up a fire, they do 2 blocks in every direction, unless they were blocked by something.
Did you have to do it together, is what you're saying?
No, you were trying to kill each other, like the moment you started.
Okay. I thought you meant you had to do it, like...
No, there's no
Go inside.
cooperation in that one. Unless you were like saying, hey, let's have an alliance for a moment and kill this one guy who's been wrecking our face for a little while. Because, you know, occasionally you'd get somebody, especially with my brothers, you'd have somebody who just gets on a roll, whether it was me or one of them. And you got to break that stride. So they would sometimes gang up on you. Because the original Bomberman actually had it where whoever won the match had a roulette wheel at the very end. And it would spin around and it would land on one of the items. And the best item to get right off the bat was the Power Glove, which allowed you to pick up a bomb and throw it. So because you each start in a corner and you only have 3 spaces to put down a bomb, if you had the glove immediately, you could pick up one of your bombs, throw it across the screen to where they spawn, and immediately trap them and kill them right off the bat. So if you had somebody who was doing something like that, you kind of had to band together. Same thing with Mega Man. Yeah, Mega Man had a little bit of an RPG aspect in there as they got a little bit more mature as a genre. They actually had it where you could increase your health or your battery pack life or something by finding little hidden canisters throughout the level. That was more of my my younger brother. He loved the Mega Man franchise. I just like watching it. All right, another green silken trait. It's a good thing they're not lore. Did I ever play Power Stone for the Dreamcast? I didn't have a Dreamcast. Did you know?
I have a Dreamcast, but I've never played Power Stone.
You do now. Did you have one when you were growing up?
No. Only consoles I had growing up was Sega and 64, and then I have almost every Nintendo console after that. So.
Even up to the modern ones? Are you like with the Switch and everything still?
I didn't get Oh, I don't have a Wii U. This is the only one I don't have in between. I have all the Nintendo consoles except for Wii U. And when my son started playing video games, he had a PlayStation 2 as his first console, as my son, and then we got an Xbox 360 and then an Xbox One.
Yeah, my nieces are still playing. My nieces and nephews still playing on the Nintendo.
PlayStation 2 is such an excellent console, guys, for real. Like, if you got a kid that's just going to start playing and you don't, you know what I mean? Like, and you got an old PlayStation 2 or you find one at a
flea market or something,
pawn shop it or something, they play DVDs for one, you know what I mean? So you could always pop a movie in it for the kid or start them off on PlayStation 2 games, and there's a lot of really good PlayStation 2 games out there.
They made an RPG for the N64 Bomberman. I mean, yeah, that's the one I wasn't a big fan of. RPG. I know every genre tends to do it from time to time, and maybe not, or you have one in mind. I know Command & Conquer did it, where they made a first-person shooter instead of an RTS.
Oh, you mean like they change things?
Just to kind of give it a shot, and then if it doesn't work out, hopefully they go back to the original stance.
I think the one that's probably most seen or noted is probably Zelda. Zelda 1 went to Zelda 2. You know what I mean? And like everybody's like, what? There's huge Zelda 2 fans out there though, man. For
Is
real.
there?
Like people speed run it and play it all the time, and you know what I mean? Like there's huge Zelda 2 fans. But it's not really for me, to be honest.
Was there a huge fan of that Zelda 2 at the time though? Because I remember that being like an awful decision for Zelda people. Like they weren't making money off of that one, which is why they immediately went back to the old way.
That's probably a cop-out choosing that one, but that's the one that comes to my mind right away. Sorry. It really does.
Homebound earlier in stream number 2 is a fan translated and available via ROM. Homebound or Earthbound? Because Earthbound was the original, and then they came out with, I believe, a second one. If you want to pick that up, no, I don't think anybody else is going to pick it up.
I already got one, dude. You want me to pick all of them?
Just snag it so they don't rot.
I actually don't have Earthbound, but I have that. I don't know if you remember me talking about. I got the what is it? The handheld game called Mother and Mother 2 or whatever. This guy wants this. You can have it. You can have it. You can have this.
Group chat. These guys know us all too well.
Yeah, they're asking you questions and stuff.
But I think I played that one, and you said it was a little different or whatever. So
It looked, you know, the graphics weren't quite the same. They looked a little more dated than the Earthbound one.
I went and played that. That was Mother 1 on the card or whatever, and I went and played Mother 2, and it might have been more like because I went and watched some Earthbound. It might have been more, but it had like some broken, not mechanics or anything, but like when you went and talked to somebody, half the language was in English and half the language was in Japanese. So like you could only read like half of it, and then I mean, like I'm going to go get the cat or the dog, and we're going to move over here, but then there was like symbols for the rest of the sentence. You know what I mean? So I think it just wasn't transferred over well or something. I don't know.
Well, Earthbound was a wonderful copy of that. It was complete English. I don't remember any Japanese or other language in that at all.
Yeah, there was. I thought I had to draw pictures or something, but it was fun. I played that for about 2 or 3 hours, and checked it out. It was pretty cool. Kind of a kid version of an RPG, in my opinion, from the little bit I played.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like not very adult story or not a great difficulty. There were times you ran into a mob and you like, I know I need to run from this guy. I cannot fight him. You know what I mean? But it was still goofy. You know what I mean? It wasn't so serious.
It was meant to be psychedelic. Anytime you went into a battle, you could see that with the background picture. That would probably give an average person a stroke these days. But it did get a lot more difficult as time went on. But yeah, I would say it was a good RPG for kids because that's what I played it. I played it as a kid, and I love the crap out of it. The humor in that one with the Blues Brothers coming in and dancing. It was just kind of, it was a little silly, over the top, almost kind of like Nemo's Dreamland on the Nintendo. And if you ever played that one,
Yeah.
that's the very first video game I could remember that didn't have a great save in it, and so we left that on. We played it all weekend. Me and my brothers played that the entire weekend, and we got all the way to the train level, the level where the train's going down at an angle, and you got to jump over spikes and, you know, all of this stuff. So we didn't want to start all over, so we left the Nintendo on and went to school. We came back, obviously, later that day, and we turn on the TV. We're ready to play it. And we had left the controllers on the Nintendo, and I went to grab them, and the Nintendo was so hot. I thought it was going to melt in my hand. I had no idea they could get that burning hot. So we did end up beating it that day. But holy crap, that game was long, and it was hard, and it was not very forgiving, but it was a great game. DuckTales was the same way. Yeah. You had to get those diamonds.
Oh, I just got that the other day, dude. It's good stuff.
It's
fun.
They ported the original over into the Game Boy at some point. I can't remember what version of the Game Boy.
You can actually get the remastered DuckTales on Steam right now for like $13.99 or $15.99 or something like that.
That'd be fun to play. I mean, there's something about playing some of those classic games, especially if they remastered it.
Did you guys ever do arcades? Like actual, like the place?
Yeah. Talk about Defender or Pac-Man or...
Yeah, there was I mean, they used to be all over the malls. Now I don't think they have any. Unless you go to like a Dave and Buster's.
Still have the Pac-Man in my house.
The arcade game?
Yeah,
arcade?
Yeah, because my dad had a whole bunch of the arcades when he owned the movie theater. He would cycle them through and make a little bit of money off of it. Defender was my mom's favorite, and Pac-Man was his favorite. And they had both for a while. The Defender eventually, didn't make it, but...
I'd like to have the sit-down cabinet Miss Pac-Man. That would be awesome, dude. That'd be the one I'd want, dude. For real.
Centipede was a big one too at the arcade.
I like
or
the
Millipede or something like that.
As far as the sit-down ones, I like the Tron.
Oh, that was a coin eater, just like
it was.
Dragon's.
Dragon's Lair.
Lair, yeah. I was gonna say Cauldron for some reason. Dragon's Lair. They were both quarter eaters, dude. You didn't even really. I mean, you tried to play the game, but you were too busy looking around. Like, oh, that's cool.
Well, once you got over the whole like, oh, this is cool being inside the cabinet and everything, and then you got the hang of it. I really love simulations. It was the simulator, like flight simulators at the arcade.
I like the helicopter. There was a helicopter one. I can't remember. It was a 2-person deal. It's pretty cool.
I don't think I tried that one.
Have you been to any? I know Shix is like around where I live, sorta. But have you been to like Dave and Buster's Shix? They have the Star Wars
Yeah.
pod. That Star Wars pod is amazing, dude.
I haven't seen that. It's been a while since I've been to Dave and Buster's, but they've got a lot of new games and a lot of the old ones.
Ty Stick says, "Hey boys, so thanks for the support from my boy. After your stream, he got all 12 follows. He needed it now. He just has to hit his sub button. Not sure who, but thanks in your chat. I'm glad he got it, dude. I'm glad he got it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right now I'm building a virtual pinball machine. I don't know if you, since you like arcades, you might look into the virtual arcade one, which is just a computer with a monitor screen, and then you build the arcade case around it. And they make all the accessories USB style now, so you can get the USB buttons and joystick and coin-operated thing on the bottom if you actually want people to be able to feed coins into it, and LED lights. I mean, they're beautiful-looking models out there of people doing it, and it's fairly easy. I mean, the only problem I'm running into on the pinball one is the software, because I'm not very good with computers, but I'm getting there. It's maybe another week or so, and I'll have it all mapped out.
I'm awful with computers. I think we've decided that.
I think between Shix and I, we both would not have any knowledge of computers.
We could ruin one real quick.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I could get one apart, probably. I could take it apart.
Taking it apart is actually pretty talented. Now, as long as you're saying you're taking it apart in one piece, like where you can put it back
with a
together.
hammer or something.
Yeah, throw it on the ground.
That's destroying. It's not really taking things apart. Going Office Space on it now.
None of this is popped. I'm gonna AFK to take the dog out for just 1 second.
There was a arcade game that had these little cavemen that you had to go around and pick up the dinosaur eggs before they hatched. Did you ever play that one? There's like 4 different cavemen. Each one of them had a different color, like blue dinosaurs, red dinosaurs.
It sounds familiar, sorta.
It's another one of those 4-player games. I liked multiplayer games.
You know, like at my age and like my childhood was a while ago, and I'll see something and then I'll remember it after I see it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's just how it works. I don't know.
Burger Time.
Oh yeah. What's the beer one? You remember that one where you had to like catch the beers as he was pouring throwing them down the bar?
They had that one in Wreck-It Ralph. Something's Tavern. Taps. There you go.
Something tap. I can't remember.
Wow, that's breaking a lot on him. He'll get it though.
Yeah.
Lost Vikings, yeah, dude. You had the one that could jump, the one with the shield, and you had the one that could attack. Loved Lost Vikings. That was a good puzzle-solving game because you had to like hit things. You had to get all of your 3 Vikings to the end. And as I said, only one of them could jump. One of them had his shield. He could block something, or he could put it up on his head so that somebody could jump off of it, and then the other one could actually attack. So using those 3 basic abilities, you had to get through whatever kind of level that they created for you, whether it was a little bit of combat, a little bit of problem solving, usually all of the above. And the humor in that was pretty good. Blizzard's first game? Was that Blizzard's first game? I've been playing Blizzard for a while then. Because you had Warcraft, which I loved those. Warcraft 1 and 2, plus the expansions that they came out with between. I was not a fan of RTSs when they started moving towards having a hero that had to survive. I know some people love that. Warcraft 3 was the beginning of the end for me, I think, when they did that. Because what I always did is I would just stick that hero in the background and then build me a huge army. I like doing it turtle style, like upgrading everything I could possibly upgrade, and then take my mammoth tanks in, whether you're playing Command & Conquer or...
I had to, sorry about that. I had to mute myself. If I go link dead or something, I'll let you guys know ahead of time here. I got some voicemail saying from the power company calling me saying we're aware of flickering lights and we're working on the problem, but my lights haven't flickered, so I don't know what that means. So if they turn
Just
my
pay your
power
bill.
off, that means that's where I went.
Hopefully you don't lose power.
I don't know what's. Well, sometimes to fix something, they're like, "Well, we're gonna fix this, but we're gonna shut off the whole town." You know what I mean?
Yeah, for a few seconds. Send that
Yeah.
massive power surge that fries all your electronics.
Sorry about your lights flickering. We're gonna turn your power off for an hour.
That's why I got that
Fix
UPS.
it.
The UPS, uninterrupted power supply. Kept happening here.
I guess.
What about you, Shix? Did you say you had a favorite arcade?
No, I mean, I just remember going to the arcade, playing all the games. I guess, probably the old Pac-Man. I mean, I'm older than probably most people watching this.
Original Pac-Man's
The
good.
Pac-Man games, yeah, Pac-Man, Centipede. What was is it Tekken?
Oh yeah, yeah. The
fighting
first,
game?
the first fighting game. Yeah, it was a 3D knocking each other out of the ring. There was the first fighting game I remember. You probably will as well if you grew up playing those arcade ones. Was Karate Chop or something? It was the white and the red karate
Oh
guy.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember what it's called, but I do vaguely remember that.
There's Kung Fu also, dude.
Kung Fu. That might have been a name actually.
Where he had to crouch to kick or up the punch or whatever.
Very
then you got
basic.
a knife. If you're lucky, you got a knife that you can throw at him or whatever.
I don't remember the knife. That sounds more like Double Dragon, where you got like weapons you could throw against somebody.
The Kung Fu was just a side scroller. You couldn't go up and down or whatever. It's just left and right. That's it. Double Dragon, I think you could only go right. And like you could go left and right, but like the screen disappeared. You know what I mean? Like after you went to the right.
Donkey Kong, yeah.
Donkey Kong was good. There's a movie out there called The King of Kong. If you guys have seen that one, it follows the guy who had the top score on Donkey Kong, and it shows him being in the movie anyways one of the biggest douches out there. He basically got buddy with the guy who decided to take it upon himself to keep records of all the top scores. So he wasn't an official of any capacity. He just decided to do it on his own. And because he was buddy apparently for a long time, he supposedly, bunny ears there, was stopping people from getting a better score than him. And so the movie follows the guy who basically beats him and has something better. Hey man, we doing Darkfall streaming event if you're interested on April 28th. Yeah, we're going to be doing a little bit of Darkfall tonight, actually, when we get done with EQ. And I would love to do the event with you. I know Cypher has said that he wants to come join as well, so it sounds like a lot of fun. They hit me up yesterday, told me that they were going to have it where they're going to be going around on a ship and, you know, giving out goodies and wrecking face at the same time. So I'm kind of curious as to see how they do that. I've never done a streaming event in a PvP and had it turn out, you know, where I don't get stream sniped at some point in the episode. So giving away goodies and doing a little bit of stream sniping myself sounds like a little bit of payback, I guess. Oh, yeah, I did get the Discord invite. Thank you. I appreciate you reaching out and letting me know about it, too, because that sounds like a lot of fun. Those of you who have not seen those episodes, guys, I actually have one coming out later tonight on the YouTube channel. I've done one already. It was like an hour and a half, 2 hours there, and this one picks up where that one left off. It is like an old-style Everquest game, but it's player versus player and player versus environment at the same time. Skills take a little bit longer to level up. You almost like Star Wars Galaxy Online, where as you use them, they get better. So definitely go check it out. They had a little bit of time where they were letting people come into it for free. It's subscription based right now, but I'm having a lot of fun on it.
Did I see that had like 3 releases or something, or it's like a Darkfall blah blah blah, Darkfall blah blah blah, like Night or something? You know what I mean? Like 3 different names or something like that. Did I hear that right? Or do you know?
Yeah, somebody did leave a comment on there saying there was a newer version, like a new expansion out for it. But the server that we're playing on is one of the older ones. It's almost like P99, you know. It's the classic original feel for a game that so many people, you know, grew up playing and have that kind of affinity for and that love for. which is cool. I never got to play it back in the day, but the fact that I get to play on a classic server like that and experience what it is for what it's worth there, without all like the niceties. Because somebody was saying what they were, and I think you got like banks in every zone or every town, and fast travels, and pretty much everything they did with live for EQ that I'm not a huge fan of either. So I think I chose the right server to stay on.
So like they're like trying to sell it to you. Come here, we got this and we got banks, and you're like, I don't want to go there.
I can give you a bunch of 7-day keys to give out. Oh, that's fantastic, dude. If you want to hit me up on the PM with those, we'll hand out some a little bit tonight, and we'll do some on the stream when we're doing the ship stuff as well. For those of you who are interested, let us know, guys, if that sounds like a game you're wanting to play. I know on the video that I posted, there was one guy who said he downloaded it and he was like, oh, they want a subscription. I thought you said it was free for a little bit. He wanted to try it out. So we'll go ahead and toss one his way as well, because he was looking to get in there.
How much is the subscription there? Do you know?
I don't know. If you want to hit us up with that as well, or a link to the website if you want to toss that.
Yeah, plug it up, man, or whatever. Or if he's not, or just give us some info.
Yeah, because I think it's definitely... I'm attacking a pet. What am I doing?
Is it $5 a month, or is it like $20 a month? Because I probably will never play if it's $20 a month.
It's $9.95 a month. It's not too bad.
That's like cheaper than old EQ prices. Wasn't EQ
14,
like 15?
Yeah, $14.99.
What you paid for the year, then it was like $9.99 or something like that.
6 months, I think you get it down $9.99, and then if you did like a whole year, you got it cheaper than that. Oh, there he goes. He got me a whole bunch of keys already.
Nice. This guy is this guy buffing you? Toasty sandwich? Oven toasty sandwich?
Let me know if that wraps. No, that came out perfectly fine, man. I appreciate it.
Very cool.
Toasty sandwich.
Right there, dude. Beside you. Oven toasty sandwich. Are you buffing this or something?
I don't know. I want a toasty sandwich. Quiznos? The little hamster? Oh my god, Quiznos commercials were the worst. I don't know what that creature was, but every time I looked at it, I was kind of wondering what kind of meat was going in that sandwich.
Did you like...
Bob is rooted.
Did you like the
I don't
noid?
understand this.
Avoid the noid?
Thomas says, we have game time tokens in the game for sale, around 55,000, which you can farm in a day or two just training your character. So that's cool too. So if you actually get into it, once you may have to pay like 1 month or something like that to get your bearings and figure out where those things are and kind of get a feel for the economy. But that helps.
Are you selling to other players, or are you selling to like vendors? He means
probably a little bit of both. But I mean, like it doesn't hurt to give back to the community, give back to the server, so they can keep going. So if you like it, toss them, $10 every once in a while. Let them know that they're appreciated, and that keeps the game going. It's the same thing here on P99. It's all donations as well. So. If you find a clan, they will help you with 1 month free. So, again, a lot of promotion to get in there as a multiplayer and be part of the community. I like the name, though. Oven Toasty Sandwiches. Makes me hungry. His face doesn't really... I mean, look at that. It looks like he's wearing skin of somebody else. So here's how it works. We offer a game time token for $10 a month. The players sell them in game. Okay. So they offer it, and then people can trade. It's almost like live with the chrono.
Chrono or whatever, yeah. They end up trading those for gear and stuff then?
Probably. I had Thomas was actually kind enough when I was doing a stream. He ran up. And he gave me one in a bag with a whole bunch of gear. He gave me an upgrade to my staff, which I was going down the wizard path. There's really no classes. You can switch between playing a caster to a melee to a ranger with a bow and arrows at any time you want to. And you can level up all those skills. Of course, it takes time. And, as I was going down the wizard path, there's different categories. You can go down like necromancy, you can go down like earth, you can go down fire and water and like a whole bunch of other ones. And as you use that actual specific spell of like healing or fire damage or, you know, blind, you get better with that spell. So there is a lot of things for you to level up, which means you really want to kind of concentrate on what you see yourself doing in the future first. Now, I guess if you've been playing it for 3, 4, or 5 years, you might have all of those maxed out at some point. But I don't think that's going to be something you do right away. It doesn't seem like one of those games where you max your stuff out quickly, you get to max level, you know, you're raiding and you know, just wrecking face. There's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. There's going to be some time invested for sure, and I think those are the best games.
Yeah, well, there's plenty to do, plenty to learn, and it's slow. You know what I mean? Take your time in it.
Right.
Sounds good.
He has a chip chop ham mask. Yeah, it's pretty horrible looking. It's cool. I mean, it's something he had to work hard to get. But as far as making me hungry and looking at it at the same time, not the best combination. You can. Okay.
It's a gnome's butt stretched across his face, dude. That's what it is.
No wonder they're always covered up. That's a horrible looking butt. Out of all the skin to take from a gnome, there's something wrong with him if he takes the gnome's butt.
It's the softest, dude. What part of the person would you want on your face?
I don't really want a part of a person on my face, but if I had to have one, it probably wouldn't be the place where, you know, stuff comes out.
No, it's not going to be the butt.
Yeah.
It's a little soft little gnome butt, you know? You powder it and all the time.
All right, Thomas, thanks for stopping by, man. We're going to be doing a stream for the game later tonight, so hopefully if you're on, you can swing on by and see it. I appreciate all the information and definitely for the invite. Me and Cypher will be there. But yeah, it's a pretty cool game. I had not even heard about it until Cypher, you know, kind of saw that they were doing the free weekend month thing or whatever, and got me into it. And now that I am, I'm kind of addicted to it a little bit. Are there any old MMOs that you guys played way back when, other than Everquest?
No.
No.
So no Ultima Online, no DAOC. I know, Nano, you played DAOC.
Not back in the day, but yes, I played it here lately. It's guard server.
You didn't play it when it first came out.
The only MMO I've ever played until I came back to P99 was EverQuest. Then I've checked out several actually. So it's kind of nice to check them out though, to be honest.
Anarchy Online. Have you played Anarchy?
I've heard of that.
There was
not checked that.
There was one MMO I played, and I really liked the way it worked. It was like EVE Online, but it was called Earth and Beyond, I think. And I got the keys, or not the key, the CDs for it back before I even reviewed video games. This was just me as a gamer finding out they were doing a closed beta, but you could, you know, apply for it. So I applied for it, and I told them I played EverQuest, and I played all these other ones. And they sent me the CDs, and I got to get in there, and you got to fly around in space, right, and destroy asteroids and other people and pick up their gear. Like I said, a lot like EVE Online before EVE Online was a thing. And you get to go to space stations, and this is one of the first games I remember where you could get out of your ship and walk around the space station as an actual character and trade with people and build things. It didn't take off, though. It was a beautiful looking game, and I wished it all the best, but it didn't catch on. So it was only there for about 6 or 7 months before it shut down, and it was kind of regretful because you know, I didn't get to play a lot of beta games back then, so I was kind of hoping it would be a fantastic one I could tell people about. Like, oh yeah, I was playing it back before it was a thing.
I did play WoW for a little bit.
Did you get in there like early on, or did you come to it a little bit late?
Nah, I think it was pretty late, but I only played it for a couple months. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
What was it about it that didn't quite grab you think?
I don't know. I didn't get a lot of the community interaction.
So you're just doing like a lot of solo stuff?
Yeah, just soloing, trying to learn. I don't know. It wasn't... I guess I was so used to EQ that it wasn't something that I was fully interested in.
Right. I do realize the PvP aspect of that game is huge. People love the battlegrounds. So if you're looking for like grouping, I don't think you normally find that outside of, you know, dungeons. And even then, I had had a friend that played that, and every time she went into a dungeon, I would talk to her afterwards, and she'd be near tears because they would be making fun of her and telling her she sucks and she was a bad player and she was doing this wrong and that wrong. And when I would hear about all the things they were saying she was doing wrong, I was like, you didn't do anything wrong in those. But she was so sensitive, being the very first MMO she ever played. And it's kind of like, how do you explain to somebody who's never heard of what a troll is that that's exactly what they were doing? So she didn't have the greatest experience with that game, but she stayed on it. She powered through it for a few years. So I think she found some sort of enjoyment. Ready for bat, or we're gonna kill his pet?
Oh,
Yeah, he's gonna take
leaving.
off.
Oh, okay.
Root didn't stick. You got it though, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah,
Root didn't stick.
Too cartoony is what Shaq says. I thought the same thing of Borderlands when I first played it. I thought the graphics were kind of eh. But the longer you play it, the more you realize that was a conscious decision on their behalf, and it actually wasn't that bad. You know, it had its place. It felt good, like Minecraft. You know, people still find Minecraft enjoyable. It's a weird thing. You know, like you wouldn't think you would find that kind of blocky look of thing, but it is.
There's 2 MMOs that are supposed to drop this year, which I mean, you know, they're always promising to drop. But Crowfall, which is one I was following really close, now they starting to do things that I don't really, I don't know. And then there's one called Bless Online, and I have not really, I don't really know about that one too much, but I guess it's supposed to come out this year too.
I haven't heard about the Blessed. I did hear about Crowfall. Crowfall has been on the, you know, the horizon for a few years now, right?
Yeah. They just seem like they're going to be making some decisions that are semi-pay to win, or at least advantage pay to win. Do you know what I mean? Or how are you going to say it? Advantage pay things. So I don't know about that.
Thanks for coming out, by the way, Flip. It's always a pleasure to have you, man. Sorry we didn't get to talk to you as much as we normally would. Remember those, if you want to be in the Skype call, guys, just let us know. We offer from time to time, but we also don't want to, you know, feel like we're ramming it down your throat like you have to be part of it. Eve is hard. Eve Online is not for the faint of heart. I couldn't figure it out. It's too much.
There's some money sink in that game too, like expansion packs or booster packs or something you buy or something. I can't remember, man.
I did hear that like the top players can make a great deal of money, like actual real money playing that game. So there must be somebody spending it.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a fantastic game to play if I could have gotten my foot really in the door. I just, you know, 2-3 hours of gameplay, and I couldn't even figure out what I was doing. Like it was a big learning curve.
I think you could seriously neckbeard out on that game, though, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can neckbeard out on any game you play these days, but...
How's your guys' experience going?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, I've already gotten a bubble, and I leveled today already, so...
60% in the
pretty
level.
clear.
EQ and WoW for me, and took a very long break after I quit WoW and just played different types of games. I take a big break from Everquest and Everquest 2, and played WoW for a little bit. I tried it out. It wasn't... I think at the time I was just burned out on MMOs, which is why I never really gave WoW the chance it probably deserved. But I did go back with Chupa and Cypher and Doom. And we did a little bit of fighting over there. Mainly, we just stuck to the battlegrounds. It's like 90% of our gameplay was battleground arenas at the time. WoW, especially now, is kind of easy mode. I do know that they are coming out with...
Legacy.
Yeah, like emulator type servers for it.
Oh no, the WoW is releasing a legacy server, like a TLP or whatever, classic vanilla. It's WoW licensed, like through them. They're gonna come. It's called Legacy server.
Now, is it going to be like EverQuest time-lapse servers where it still has a lot of the modern changes to it, even though it's going to be like original?
I could log in and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, dude, because I never played it before. So.
The graphics
Chup would
changed
be
a
the
lot.
guy. You know what I mean? Chup would have to be the guy to ask about that. I don't know what their plans are either, as far as that goes. But I know they are releasing it. It's called Legacy, and it's going to be a pay server too.
Well, let's hope they're one of the first ones to do it with the original content. I was going to say do it right, but some people may not like it.
If they do it with the original, like everything, like zones and graphics and all that, they probably will do really well. I would think. You know what I mean?
So,
like with people coming back to the game or playing on that server or however you want to say it.
I was going to mention it to the guys that run Pantheon if I ever get to talk to those guys when we get in there and start playing in the beta, to like copy their server. I'm not saying that game's going to take off and it's ever going to be an EverQuest or a WoW. You look at Vanguard, that kind of went the way of the Dodo and it's made by the same guy. But if it does, I want them to have a copy. I don't want them to have to backwards engineer it all the time. Like, it can't be that difficult. It can't be that big of a game that they can't make a copy of a server when it first comes out, and then like every 6 months back it up somewhere. Just keep it on a hard drive, a couple hard drives, whatever it takes.
They're probably so busy trying to get it up and running and get it stable and because I'm sure.
They got a backup though. Like, they got the one that it's running on, and then they got a server somewhere where it's backed up in case the one they're running on has a corrupted hard drive or a fatal error with a new patch. Like, they got a backup somewhere. They just delete it. They just delete it when they do the next backup. So.
But that day they release, they're all gonna be going. You know what I mean? Trying to keep it up, or there's gonna be thousands of people flooding towards it. They're gonna try to be. They're working on trying to get everybody in, or you know what I mean? It's gonna be a cluster.
It doesn't. It's gonna be crazy. It doesn't necessarily have to be day one, but like year one. And then like year 2, and then year 3. You got an entire year. If you can't find a year to make a backup of your game, you're doing something horribly wrong. Like, you got to be able to find time to do that.
This is what I think about it. You've seen EverQuest live. What is it? What is the last one? Kornov or whatever, right. And the one before that where people couldn't get in. I think this is gonna like dwarf that when they drop. You know what I mean? They're gonna have bigger problems of trying to get everybody in, because this is gonna be what everybody's waiting on for the next big thing, not reliving something. You know what I mean?
See, the difference between the corn cob one and
the button nose,
and this one is. They're already going to have people doing the alpha and the beta on the server, so there's going to be a load capacity test. There's going to be people running around doing things that they probably wouldn't otherwise do just to see if it would break the game. And yeah, they're going to run into their own problems, but it's not going to be like a fresh start, which is what, what is the name of that server that came out right before Corn Cob?
It's not Finny, is it? No,
we were talking about it.
Oh, Agnar.
Agnar, there you go.
Agnar, yeah.
Agnar had those day one problems where when you loaded in, you could have access to level 65 characters, and you could have like 100,000 plat, and people were trading them to other players so that it wouldn't be on their account. They had to do a wipe like 15 times, and people had taken off like 2 days to be able to play it when it first came out, and they weren't up for like 3 days, so people were really ticked off. I don't think you're going to run into that if you have those early access players.
But don't you think there's going to be a bigger... I guess what I was trying to say is there's going to be a bigger flood to that than there are to those two. Probably combined. I mean, even more people trying to... Is this the right way going back? Yeah.
I guess you could, because, live you do have to pay, and this one's going to be you have to pay for it as well. Hey guys, and welcome to the disembodied voice of AC Gamer. We are definitely going to be doing a lot more series in the future, but here are a few of them that you guys might find interesting. Of course, you're more than welcome to check them out. I would love to hear your comments. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. It's definitely the indicator that I use to tell if you guys want to see more videos like that. of that particular game style, of that series in the long run. So when you guys leave comments down, it helps me decide whether we should keep doing it, as well as whether you want to see games like that in the future. And here are a few of them right here. I kind of picked out a few of different genres. We will be doing spotlights for other YouTubers in the future. So if you want to get a little shout out, definitely let me know. If you group with me, chances are you will get a shout out in here eventually. But for now, these are just 4 series that I have that I feel like could use a little bit more attention, and that you guys might actually enjoy as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will definitely catch you all next time.